Cheers. That's right, Nick Dutch back on the camera again. How the heck's it going? Just thought I'd talk a little about the other form of astral projection. Now, I've mentioned astral projection before in the form of the experience that you can get whereby it appears that your soul leaves your body, or you have this sensation or experience in a state where the body is asleep but the mind is conscious, just as awake as I am right now. And you appear to be moving around outside the body, and occasionally strange things can happen, such as apparently sharing dreams with people. That's what I personally would consider to be an astral projection experience that has happened. I've had one of those recently, and I'm going to fill you in on that in a not too distant future. But there's the other type, or the other way in which the phrase is used, which I'm not too sure if I am in total agreement with. And that is just a imaginary journey in which some strange things can happen. Now, I've read various books on this subject, and they would come out with this beautiful hypnotic story which is based loosely upon, let's say, pagan mythology, the idea of going across the Rainbow Bridge to Asgard and having a chat with the gods, the Norns, and all the rest of that. I think that was in the book which came with a guide to using the rune stones a while ago. And there's countless other versions of that. And there are individuals within the New Age movements who are brazen enough to turn around and say, no, that is the technique, the technique, the technique, No. Okay, that's something which some guy has written down in a book. And it was interesting, there was a point of view there, but that's all it was just a point of view. And it was just an experience, basically, at best. Now, one thing I will say is from my experiences of using a strobe light mind machine, which I'm sure you guys must know by now, is a device which uses strobe lights in glasses which you wear over your eyes to assist in generating hypnotic and trance-like states or dream-like states or increased creativity or stimulation and the rest of it. And I've tried lying down in bed and having this thing going. And occasionally, depending upon various levels or types of tiredness I'd have, is with each flash I would hear a word in my head, or I would see a scene. So it appears to me that when you get vivid imaginary sensations, that could represent, hypothetically, could represent an increase in the amplitude or the heights of your brain waves at a particular point. So something is happening in the brain when that occurs spontaneously, or when you bring that about through using concentration, meditation, and this variety of imagination-driven astral projection. Now, as far as when spontaneous things seem to happen in these experiences, what is that? Well, it would appear that it's something to do with your brain. Okay, your brain is doing something or reacting somehow, whether it's to a factor outside of yourself or inside of yourself, which somehow needs to be recognized by your consciousness. And I've mentioned before as well that when I've had bad conditions with my guts, I would sometimes see in visions of various different types slime, like opening the boot of a car and seeing just for a few seconds slime on the inside of that, as if there's something wrong with my insides, and it needs to be reflected or explained through a variety of hallucination when I perceive something which seems to have some kind of cognitive resonance or symbolic resonance with the thing that's inside me and the thing which is outside of me. So interesting things can happen as a result of, or seemingly as a result of, practicing various types of trance techniques, of which this imaginary journey is just one of them. Is it an astral projection? Well, there are plenty of people out there on YouTube who are promoting the idea that you are definitely going to another world or definitely going to another realm, without really saying what a realm actually is. If you know what a realm is, leave it in the comment section. Go on, you know you want to. Come on. Down there. So, all I can say is this is something else to play about with. This is another variety of experience to get. Do I personally use these? Well, if I've got insomnia, alright, and I can't get to sleep no matter what, then I will try and use meditation or something similar to try and adjust my brainwaves. And if I can do it, I can then try and create a controlled visualization experience, or a bit of a lucid dream. Sometimes you can go into lucid dream, and the strange thing is sometimes I can actually dream that I'm awake and that my bedside light is turned on, and I can do all the other stuff like sit up in bed and scratch the top of my head or whatever, and it feels very real. And this often seems to happen with me when I have tried to get to sleep using meditation or an attempt to use one of these visualization things to try and get myself basically off to sleep, or at least to try and get some variety of rest when nature is not allowing me the luxury of entering into a proper, natural, healthy, restful sleep. So again, it's just something else which is one needs in one's own occult armory as a experiential thing. And once in a while one does seem to get impressions which are from outside, such as when I was on a holiday with some young people at one time, when I was of course young. I was rather restless one night. I went into meditation, and I saw in this meditation something which looked like a traditional angel, you know, wings and all the rest of it. And this angel was saying, "I detect a frightening male presence." And then I came to. And it turned out that someone was vandalizing my car. And I had to, you know, get out and deal with that, move the car like half a mile down the road so that no more damage could happen to it, and then sort of try and find a way of making my excuses and leaving the holiday camp. But essentially, there's a correlation between that particular dream experience and that particular experience that something was happening to the car. Possibly. So I can't say for sure whether there was a direct correlation or that there was a cause and effect thing happening there. But it is a rather curious thing, because that just doesn't happen all that much. It just doesn't. And so it does make you wonder, rather than necessarily jump to the conclusion that it was a hard and fast fact. Now, as far as the whole visualization, astral projection type thing helps you in your law of attraction. Ooh, law of attraction. Ooh, scary. God. The law of attraction is an artificial construct. It's been invented by someone, okay? It helps to sell books. Alright, it does. It just helps to sell books, and you've got to remember that. And what is actually true in the law of attraction? It's artificial. It's been invented by someone. We've got to see that. Is there some way in which one can reliably make some result occur? No, there isn't. And we got to be realistic about that. Otherwise, we would all be multi-millionaires who won the national lottery and are living on a beach somewhere with young girls massaging us in places that we can't discuss in YouTube videos. Okay, so it doesn't seem to happen that way. It doesn't seem to happen in the way that people talk about in books on the law of attraction. You have to excuse me, my cat is meowing. And this creature here is very demanding. Alright, I'll go into this in a greater detail once I've fed the cat.